with Adey. I got someone special with me. She's so dear to my heart. But I'm not going to introduce her yet. I want to tell you before you hear whatever she has to say. I'm going to say thank you to everyone who has subscribed earlier, who is still subscribing, and thanks to everyone who has been calling me, who has been encouraging me, who has been supporting me. Thank you so much, and I pray that God bless you all. I want to thank my Almighty God for what He has done in my life, and what He's still doing, and how far He has taken me. Today He has given me someone extra, someone beautiful in my life. I would never forget her. You know, this lady sitting beside me has always been my source of inspiration. She has always been there for my family and I. She has always been positive in my life and in my family's life. She loves my family so much, especially my daughter Precious. So I want to introduce you to a lovely lady. Her name is Susan. Hello, Susan.
Hello.
Isn't she beautiful? Look at her smiles. Oh my God. She's blessed. She's blessed with a wonderful husband, and she's got kids, and you can never tell. Her kids are so grown, and look at how beautiful she's looking. You know. So I'll leave it to Susan now to introduce herself and to tell us a bit more about herself.
Hello. My name is Susan, like she rightly said, and I'm a test analyst. I work with an investment company in Bristol, in the heart of Bristol. And yeah, I live in Harfield, and I'm a mother of 3. I'm married to a very handsome man.
Aww.
And yeah, that's all about me. I'm also God-fearing.
Look, she's making me jealous. My husband too is handsome. So she has something to tell us today. Susan has something to tell us today. What is it about?
Yes, it has to do with how I manage a very healthy life-work balance.
Okay.
Yeah.
So she wants to tell us how she manages her work, family, life, and how she balances everything. But let us start from, how did she start? How did she become a working mother?
Well, it was quite simple. I initially had to, go back to school, like that stereotype of, you're from Africa, your degrees are not good enough, and you might not find that very suitable job that you desire, you've always, had a passion for. So I had to go back to school, and after graduation, I immediately got a job in an investment company quite close to the airport in Bristol.
She started making money a long time.
Not long ago, but yeah, a few years back. And then I think I spent about a year and 8 months there, and then I had to, we Africans don't like to stay rooted in a particular place, so I decided to look for extra greener pastures.
Oh wow!
For me to use that word. And then I got into Hargreaves Lansdown, and I've been been with them for quite a while now, 2 years plus now, rolling.
Oh wow!
And it's a very lovely company, and when you have a passion for what you do, I love what I do so much. It gets, it's as if I can't separate my life from my work. So that's exactly how I got in there. Let me not jump the gun, but yeah, that's how I started.
There's something about Susan that you almost know. We went to the same university. We went to Unilag together, and it seemed like I've known her forever, because when I met her in the UK, I was like, something is drawing me closer to you. And then we got talking one day, and she said she can dance. I was like, okay. What hall were you? And she said she stayed in New West Hall, and I remember I said, yeah, there's this dancer I knew back then in New West Hall, and it turned out to be Susan. Can you imagine? It's a small world though.
Yeah,
please guys, do good, because your good will come and meet you later on.
Definitely.
Anyway, I'm gonna go back to Susan before I bore you with my Unilag stories. Susan, tell us, so what happened from there? How did you now grow into this woman that you've become?
Well, I think it comes with maturity. You would first have to love what you do, and then once with determination and focus, you can achieve anything. That's always been my belief in life, and that's had always been what propels me, you know, through every phase
Mm-hmm.
of life. So I became so determined that I said I must get to this from point A to point B.
Wow.
And then I actually got there. And then my husband also, he's been my pillar. He's always encouraging me, even when it was very tough. You know, he kept on saying, "You can do it. I know you. You've got such and such, you know, abilities. I know you can do it." And then with that, you know, it's like someone always patting you behind, saying,
Yeah.
"You've done well.
Yeah.
Go the extra
Go
mile.
more, go for more."
Exactly." And then that's
Oh.
always been my motto, and that's always been what's helped me all through the years.
Yeah, you have to be determined, guys. She mentioned about a husband being a pillar. We usually need someone to talk to, someone who encourages us. Look, if you're around negative people, that would not help you in any way. That would not make you go on in life. So as she's mentioned, she's got a husband who supports her, who wants her to go further. And we have lots of men out there who would be jealous of their wife's progress. But this family's case has not been like that. Now I'm going to ask her something more. What I'm going to ask you today, Susan, is about raising your children, being a working mother. How has that been? Because I know you have to look after your first child, who's her husband, and then the real children, and then working. How has that been? How did you cope?
To be very honest, it's not been easy. I wouldn't say it's been an easy job. No job is easy, to say the least. But I believe if you really want to get somewhere, you'd have to put all hands on deck. You'd make all efforts to get there. So coping with handling my home and also with work, trying to find a common balance, has not always been easy. But I'm a firm believer I believe in God, and I know that with God all things are possible. So most times I always tell my friends that if you're having issues and you do not see an immediate resolution, or it's not something you can physically resolve, you go on your knees. That my knees would have to get black. It must get darker.
And
then exactly. So you pray, and then you tell God, you just leave it all to Him, and in due time things will start happening, and you'll be like, it couldn't have been exactly. It couldn't have been my effort.
Yeah.
It must be God, and that's how it's always been for me. It's been a very rough and long journey, but I think I'm getting to a stage where I can say it's smooth sailing. I'm a bit relaxed now, and I'm kind of like trying to like understand how, you know, the next step and how to make things easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now she's just generalized. I'm going to be more specific now, because I know that she's generalized on how she has been able to cope. But we know that when kids are still younger, and to be a working mother is kind of difficult. So I'm going to ask you, so was it that did you have anybody with you, or you just coped in a way like you and your husband found a place of, you know, to take your children to, a place of understanding between both of you of how to take care of the kids while both of you were working?
Permit me to like take you back a few years. It actually started with just my husband and I. You know how it is in the UK.
Yes.
For young families where it's very difficult to like get help.
Yes.
It has to be just you and your husband. So initially it started with us, and then we managed however we could, and then we extended it a little, as in took it outside of the house and brought in like a childminder.
Okay.
And then she was, you know, but it was quite expensive, because by the time you do your budgeting for the month and then you find out how much goes to a childminder, it's a bit alarming. So but somehow we're able to like cope through. We managed well enough to, you know, until we found my daughter was old enough to like we could just leave her with the younger siblings, you know, every now and then, but not for longer periods. And then we found other avenues, other resources that could help out. Like we had to like engage the services of the after school club, you know, and then just to make sure they are there. And then but it's just that it was telling on the pocket. I believe there's so many available resources out there that we could use, but most times if you're not aware of it, or it's not being referred to you, you might find it very difficult, you know, getting that help that you really need.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It boils down to determination, or like hearing Susan now, it just proves that women all over the world, you can be who you want to be. You're not a second class citizen. You can do it. If Susan can do it, if she can raise her kids and have a happy home and then still make a living, then you can. So all I would just want to encourage you today is you get up from your comfort zone and do the extra so that you can be that extra woman that everyone will be proud of. Even your husband will be proud of you by the time you start bringing on the money, isn't it?
Exactly.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to Susan right now and let her tell us about the workload itself and how she's coping in this situation. Over to you.
Thank you. It's not been easy. It's been quite difficult, especially before now. Before the lockdown, I used to work from home once a week, and then it increased to twice a week. And then I think 2 weeks before the lockdown in the UK, my office just told everybody to stay at home. We've got so many people with underlying health issues. Stay home, and we'll get back to you. Listen to the news, blah 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 blah. And then I started working from home permanently 2 weeks before the initial lockdown in the UK. And then initially it was quite difficult because then when I was working from home, as in my usual routine, was drop the kids, come back home, work, and then I usually take my break times between 12 to 1, between 12 and 2.
Okay.
But then I could take it whenever. We're quite flexible. So I usually take my lunch break when I need to go pick up my kids from school, especially when I'm working from home. So everything just falls into place. I could still make my 7.5 hours a day.
Oh.
But when it became permanent, that was where the
You
issues
had
started.
issues? Oh God!
Lots of issues. It was in fact, when you're working from home,
Yeah.
your home becomes your office, and then you just couldn't switch.
Different
You
shade
don't know
between work
when
and
to start or when to end.
Oh.
It was
Were you
horrible.
overworking?
Exactly. I was up giving too much, and I wasn't
Oh.
getting paid for those extra time because it's me who wants to commit. Because I am a kind of person, if I've committed to a particular job, I like to see it to the end. So at times I find out that I wake up around 3 a.m. For some reason I couldn't sleep. I pray for a while, and then I just pick up my laptop because it's just close by. And then I find myself, I'm logged in as at 4 a.m. and I'm logged in 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My official start time is 9. And Susan is still there. Even after work, when I should have logged off, I'm still on there. 9 p.m., 10 p.m. So there's no difference. You don't know when to start. You don't know when to end. And then I was working too much. It became so noticeable that my line manager had to call me. Susan, what is happening? You're always online. It was that bad. And I was like, oh my God, I know. There was something I needed to do. And then traffic also. When I say traffic, I'm talking about
Online traffic.
Everybody being logged in at the same time at work.
Yeah.
Because everybody had to work from home. Even those departments that weren't working from home initially. So it was quite tacky. It was the systems were messing up initially, and then because having to connect remotely, and then it affected so many configurations. So many things were going haphazardly, and then it was a mess. And then most times I had to log in when there's less traffic, so I could get my work done. So when I tried explaining this to my line manager, she was like, "It really doesn't matter, Susan, if doing your normal shifts or your hours, you're not able to accomplish much, don't. Because somebody's paying you extra."
Yeah.
But that's not me, because the next day I would have to go for stand-up, and then you'd have to tell the scrum masters and my squad members what I've done. The previous day, and it really doesn't tell well on you or look good on you to find out that you hadn't done much. And then you're always passing it to the system being down. So my husband, it wasn't just work. My husband, my children kept complaining. My husband was like, "Susan, this is total abandonment." We're feeling abandoned. My kids were like, "Mama, ever since you started working from home permanently, it's like we don't matter anymore."
Oh.
And I don't take breaks. My lunch break is 1 hour. I hardly take it. I don't go for walks. All I do most times is go to the kitchen, make a cup of coffee, sit down, and that's it. I might be glued there for the next 10 hours. My kids, I'm in a meeting. There was a lot that was going wrong. But the first 2 months, it took quite a while to like find a balance. And then after a while, I went online because when the complaints became too much from left, right, center, I had to go online, and then I researched a particular matrix that I could use. I think it's the Eisenhower matrix. I think it's 135, where you do just one small thing, and then you do 3 medium things, and then you do 5 big things. So and that was how I was able to overcome it. I had to like list out all of my challenges, and then I looked for a way to mitigate them. And then when I've done one, I check the box and I'm like, done. Yeah, done. And then I kind of like had a routine that helped me, and that was how I was able to overcome it. And now I don't even want to go back to work. I don't want to go back to the office.
I hope the bosses are not watching this. She doesn't want to go back to the office. Okay, you heard it all for yourselves. She has she started roughly. She didn't have a balance. She was just doing people's work for them for free. You know, she wasn't getting anything extra, but that shows how a good worker she is, how dedicated she is to whoever she's working for. Her boss, her line managers, everyone, I'm sure they would really appreciate her for everything that she has done. And if they're watching, you know, you've got a gold, a diamond here, you know, just hold on to her and raise her wages. You know, I'm soliciting for you, and I hope Susan will give me some of it when the wages come. Joking,
definitely.
Joking.
You have a deal there.
It's been an interesting time. She's told us a lot of things today, how she's managed her workload, and see how the transition from being a workaholic to managing both family and her workloads. It has been a great journey for her and her family, and I hope that you can take something out of it today, that when you think or when you're doing something, overdoing things, make sure you sit back and write out the list of what you're supposed to do for the day. Write out something about your family, what you're supposed to do for your family, and make sure you have a spreadsheet of what you're doing so that you tick the boxes at the end of the day. It is really a pleasure to have you on the show today. I've learned a lot. You know, I still have a small child, a little girl, and I to cope, honestly, I envy someone like Susan, because she's been able to cope with 3, not just 1. I mean, if I go to...
Starting, yeah. Just on. I'm going to cope.
I don't know how I'm going to cope, but I know that when my time comes, having more children, I'm going to have to come back to Susan to teach me how on what she did. And mothers out there, please, you're not alone. Talk to somebody if you're getting overwhelmed. If there are lots of things that you're doing that, you know, you think you can't cope anymore, don't leave it to yourself. You know, call on your family, call on your friends. Even your children will understand as well. It's been a pleasure to have Susan, and I really, really did enjoy my time with her. I hope you're going to come back on chilling with Adey.
Definitely, I'd had a very fantastic time.
Yeah, she's going to come back and she's going to tell us some more stuff about her family life, because I enjoy listening to family gist from this woman here. So you don't have to see what happens next. I'm going to eat. Bye-bye. Take it away. Make sure you subscribe and like and share. Please do that. But I have to go and eat now. Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.